Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Becky and today I will be showing you how you can sew the rail fence quilt block. So if you've missed any of our previous videos for the quilt blocks, I'm going to be referring you back to one of the first videos which will give you an overall view of the Walkabout Quilt-a-long. So if you've missed any of that, make sure you go back to the beginning. There's going to be a link in the description for that first video. That will give you all the details that you need, as well as the information on how you can get a copy of the PDF patterns that we are going to be using during this. You can also head to my website at Patchwork Posse, and then in the search, look up Walkabout Quilt-a-long, and all of those blog posts will show up to help you get you on track and catch you up. Let's go ahead and jump right in and take a look at what block we are going to be sewing today. So with this quilt block, as you can see, I've got 4 different fabrics, and they kind of make a pinwheel right in the center, just depending on how you have your strips pieced together. So in the instructions, it gives you a couple different options of either using one long strip or multiple strips. So just depending on what works best for your stash or the fabric that you are choosing to sew with for this quilt-a-long. Now that I have my strips sewn, we need to give them a good press and get them ready for the next step. Now, because I have 2 sections, again, just depending on what you have. All right, so we're going to take these blocks and we are going to trim them to the size that we need. That is listed in the pattern. So first thing you're going to do is trim up one edge. So you'll want to make sure that your edge is straight before you start trimming, because you don't want your edges to be crooked. And then we are going to cut these all to the correct size. So you have 4 pieces. So that's what you should end up with, is 4 of these in the end. Again, I'm going to trim one edge and then begin cutting using that straight edge as my guide. And now what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and get these in the correct position. So you'll just want to rotate it so this center, or this first strip, kind of makes a star. So I've got it facing straight up, so it's vertical, and then horizontal, vertical, and horizontal. So we're going to take these to the sewing machine and sew them in 2 pairs, and then sew the pairs together to complete the block. All right, so I'm just gonna lay this out, make sure that, again, my lines and pieces are going the correct direction, and then I'm just going to be sewing these together. So just again line them up. All right, now that I have my 2 kind of rows sewn together, I can just flip right sides together, line up that center seam, and I can fold one seam to one side and one seam to the other side and put a pin to secure it. So those seams nest, and then just line up the edge again and stitch the side down. All right, with that sewn, I just need to take it to the ironing board and give it a good press, but that is the completed block of the rail fence.